Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Yes, it is me. If you don't mind, before I get on with the show, I am going to. I don't normally smoke, right? But I've had a really good day today. I can tell you some funny stories. But driving around all the country lanes, I'll tell you what, potholes like I've never seen. Lucky enough, I weren't in my car. I was driving someone else's car. He was like, "Oh, sorry." But when you're driving down country lanes, especially when it starts to get dark, you can't see the potholes. It is so dangerous. I mean, literally, they just smash the car to bits. So the other thing to tell you is, this is another bit of good news. My brother-in-law, who's not a gambler, right? He's not a gambler. He bought a ticket for 15 pence, I think it was, right, to win a car. Right? And it was a BMW estate, an M3330 electric. Do you know what that is? He only won it. Right? Now he's got his son saying, I want it, Dad. he's like, no, I'm going to sell it and we're going to go on a cruise, me and you. Like, everyone's sort of hinting at him. That's like a lady car, you know. But fancy that. 15, it was some online thing, right? He told me to do it. He said, Graham, they've got houses. And he said, you just buy this ticket for 15p and you'll win the house. I was like, shut up. Anyway, he won a 60-inch TV. He won a proper, real electric bike, right? Which he also got rid of. He's run it 3 times. I'll have to ring him tonight and say what it is. Wind up car, DD. Yeah, it's an electric car, but well, I've got to be honest with you. The car's it's second hand. It's 3 years old. I don't know what the coup is, but it's £25,000 worth for 15p. Like, he just said, what's to lose? Bump, have me 15 pence. He's won a 25 grand car. Anyway, just all I'm doing is letting you know that that's the case. Let's have a look and see who else is out there. Don't forget, people, if you're watching the show tonight, please hit the like button. Hit the like button because you just heard that bit of good news, right? I am loving Devon, even when it rains. It stopped raining. I've got to say, whole areas have been cut off with flooding. So I'm driving around in a car with these 2 lovely people in my vehicle, and they took me for something to eat because I was helping them out. One of them is quite severely disabled, and the other person is temporarily disabled, but they can't drive their car, so they're looking for this other vehicle. So I've just sort of helped them out and drove them about. But yeah, like, you drive around a corner, it's just like it's 3 foot of water. What are you supposed to do that? Not that I see that today, but they said yesterday it was really bad. And whole areas, and even the buses couldn't go through it. Right? And they went, yeah, no, it's just blocked off the whole area. Well, go and dredge the fucking rivers then, right? And do it all. I can't believe what these councils and what these people are doing to the countryside when most things are just common sense. Ray Edmonds, good evening. Anonymous, good evening to see everyone. So again, sharing is caring. Hit the like button as well, and don't forget to subscribe. We really want to get over the mark, if we can, which is 10,000. Good evening to everyone out there. Let me go and see Stevens, Ray, Merry Old England, 30 grand for new batteries, DD. Yeah, but he ain't buying the new batteries, is it? He's just going to sell it. What does it matter to him? He's got a 25 grand car for 15 pence. Use your logic, right? If someone give you a 25 grand car for 15 pence, would you give a flying fuck? You just say, well, right, I'm going to sell it. Even if he sold it for 10 grand. What's he in front by? Good evening. That's all I'm saying is like, who gives a fuck? I wouldn't drive an electric car. Funny enough, we did have that conversation because he might give it to his son who's got little kids. And both the people who I was with said, I wouldn't have kids in an electric car just in case it broke down on a motorway, run out of battery or whatever. What are you supposed to do? And I do agree. Never drive and go through floods. We didn't have an electric car. Funny enough, I was driving a diesel Mini, a BMW Mini, and all of the service history is in the key. You just take the key and they go like that. They read the key and they print out all your service history because she's chopping it in for something else. Anyway, I've just thought I'd let you know that. And now I've had no sleep whatsoever last night. I've stayed awake all day today. And then I've got in tonight, I've took my rubbish out, laid on the bed. You know, when you're right and you think, oh, right, I just want to go to sleep now. There's other things going on in the background, which I'm not going to be able to talk to you about yet, but I will be. And you'll all be quite pleased about a lot of things that's going on. Let me just show you while I am on the screen. I'll see if I can go and find it. Let's get off of that a sec. Put that on the screen. Hopefully you're going to see this. I'm not sure if it comes up on the. Oh, there it is. I'll put it up there so everyone can see it. Let's see if I can. Where's my little button? It's getting a bit difficult trying to get me buttons to work at the right time for everyone. There it is. So we have a seminar, English Constitution Society. It is not to do with a political party. It is a purely educational event, which I will show you in a couple of minutes. English Constitutional and Common Law Seminar. Discover your inalienable and constitutional rights. What are they? What they are? Why they matter, and how the state is working to take them away. Find out what you can do to protect your freedom before it's too late. The Soccer Bar, Wilkie Road, Barrow in Furness. Don't forget, there's people that are building the opposite to a church there, and there's a lot of people not very happy about that. So we're going up there, and I'm going to be telling them what the Bill of Rights says. Which is still in full force, right? Cumbria, LA. I think this is the right postcode. I'm not. Someone has to tell me if this is right. LA 14 5UQ. So Lima Alpha 145 Uniform Quebec. And that's Saturday the 28th of February on 2026. It starts at 6. We've got to finish because I need people to help me set up, etc. So you've got an hour before and an hour after. But remember, if you're coming up just to speak to me, it's more difficult, and I'm more trying to set up the thing, get the camera set up and do everything that we can, right? But this is in Cumbria. A lot of people said to me, you're coming up north. We are up north. Then we're dropping back down. I may, if I can get time, go up further. I don't know if we'll have time for another seminar up there because you won't be able to advertise it properly. But at least, you know, we are up there. Main speaker Graham Moore, £10 on the door, or pre-Bock English Constitution Society.co.uk events. So if you go to there, you can get that. A respected English constitutional scholar, more than 30 years experience. That means learning about the Constitution, reading, for various reasons, a registered paralegal, which is what I am, and a founding member of the English Constitution Society, right? And then what you can see at the bottom of there is on these flyers, leaflets, whatever you want to describe them, you've got the English flag, you've got the Scottish flag, you've got the Northern Irish independence flag, the Welsh flag, the Cornish flag, the Irish flag. Self-determination is the number one human right. So what we're talking about is your human rights. We're talking about the Constitution of England, right? And what I'm actually going to do now is come off that for a second. So stop sharing and then go back onto here, because it's really important that people understand this. But I'm going to show you a very good friend of mine, Andy, right? And he said, I think it is absolutely uncanny that you have sent me this document. So I'm going to show you, right, what I sent to him. This is the book I've got upstairs that I was reading for 3 or 4 hours last night because I couldn't sleep. That's what I do. if I've got a serious bout of insomnia, all I do is sit there reading the law books, right? So at the bottom there, I want you to read. I want you to understand what it says. Don't forget, this is a particular book on the Constitution by Anson, written in 1909, right? And I want you all to understand this is one of the number one top professionals in the world at the time, prior to the British doing a lot more damage and the communists doing a lot more damage. And I want you to see what he says. The Crown is not sovereign, nor is either House of Parliament. Still less are the ministers or servants through whom the Crown conducts the executive business of government. But each of these stands in established relations to the others and to the general body of citizens. And of these relations, some are fixed by law and some, and then it goes on to do something else. But what I'm going to actually do, that come from paragraph, let me just make sure I've got it right. Last paragraph, second limb, page 14, chapter 1, the law and custom of the Constitution, Anson, 1909. If I can find a way of doing it. And then Andy says to me, this is quite funny. He says, mate, thank you for sending this. I also chuckled at your timing. This is what I was reading yesterday whilst thinking I should send it to you, right? Great minds think alike, right? And then he says, like, there's a few bits in there. But again, just to make sure you all understand what this is, so I'll bring it up on your screen, right? The growth of the English Constitution from the earliest times. That's Edward A. Freeman. This is a different book, I think. That's 1890. So again, always go back to the old books, right? And what you're seeing, this is another one, Constitutional Law and Jurisprudence, right? And again, there's that same paragraph. The Crown is not sovereign, nor is either House of Parliament, still less are the ministers or servants through whom the Crown conducts the executive business of government. But each of these stands in established relations to the others and to the general body of citizens. And of these relations, some are fixed by law and some, and it goes on. And he's already made a note in there. You can see what that I do, but this is the way that you learn. The Crown is not sovereign, nor is either House of Parliament, right? So again, what I'm going to do is pull that back down again, and then I'll show you the next page, which is this one. This is not the next page. It goes on, and this is about Simon of Montfort, right? And it says, English history has taken the course which it has taken for the last 600 years. It might no doubt have taken the course without him, Things might have about as they did without any one man coming so prominently to the front, or if he himself had not arisen. Some other man might have arisen to do his work, but we need not speculate as to what might have been. It is enough that one man did arise to do his work. I am one man, you are one man, you are one woman, and you are arising to do your work with the Constitution. This is very important that you understand this. It is enough that one man did arise to do the work, that there is one man to whom we owe that wonderful 13th century, the great creative and destructive age throughout the world, was to us an age of creation and not destruction. That man, the man who finally gave to English freedom its second and more lasting shape, the hero and martyr of England in the greatest of her constitutional struggles, was Simon of Montfort. Earl of Leicester. Leicester was crucially important. We may not call him the founder of the English Constitution, but a great scholar has called him the founder of the House of Commons, and the founder of the House of Commons in the form which it has kept down to our own time. He truly was. It was in his age that the new birth of English freedom began to show itself. It was mainly through his work that new birth was not stifled before it had brought forth lasting fruits. Strange it may be at first sight to seem that the founder, Simon was the founder of the Constitution. He wasn't the founder of the Constitution. He was the founder of Parliament in technical terms, right? So there's another one there I want to read out. Our Constitution has no founder, but, right? And it's just the way you read this stuff, right? Establish a practical, we ever had a traditional principles, conventions, chambers of deputies, the crown, the nation, right? But I would again point out that while the growth of the English institutions has thus gone on almost in obedience to natural law, the wisdom, the foresight, the patriotism of individual statesmen, in this case, I'm certainly looking at Rupert Lowe, but he needs to understand that England needs to stand up, right? Statesman is never to be put out of our reckoning. There was a given state of things, and some man had keenness of sight to see what was the right thing to do in the state of things. Our Constitution has no founder, but there is one man to whom we may all give but the honours of a founder, one man whose wisdom and self-devotion we owe that England, I'm not sure if the rest of it is actually coming out on there. I don't think it is. What page is that one? Growth of the Constitution, page 68. I need 69. There it is. English history has taken its course the last 600 years, and then it goes on and it speaks about Simon of Montfort. Right? So everyone got that? Did everyone get a quick jaunt of education there? Which you all should have done, right? FBI are raiding Fulton County Election Office as we speak. Really? Wow. FBI are raiding Fulton County Election Office as we speak. And that is fantastic. I still haven't rung Misha. I've been busy all day, to be honest with you, and I'm absolutely knackered. But I just want everyone to understand what is going on there. And then we are going to get back to this other element. Hopefully, I can bring this up on the screen. What are we doing? It is Birmingham. There seems to be so much going on in the background. Birmingham Live. And what we want to do is bring this up and show the face of this guy. It is the actual picture I'll put up. I wonder if Birmingham Live is up there. Let's see if I can go and find him again. Birmingham Live. Ooh, that's nice. Oh, I won't bring that one up. He's sadly died. Let me have a look at this one. I'm not sure if this is coming up on the screen or not. If you go to their website, it's definitely on there. Let me go and see if I can find it on the website. Birmingham Live. I don't want that. I want that one. Birmingham Live. Let's see. There he is. Let's see if there's anything else on there. This story is an important one, so I will share this with you as I speak. And you might see that my eyes are slightly droopy because I am absolutely knackered. Right, but Birmingham Live have reported this, and I think it's important that people understand it. Sparkhill councillor candidate with criminal past, not just a criminal past, says, "I've made mistakes." Would-be councillor hopes voters will see his terror conviction and back his a bit. We'll see past his terror conviction. Right, would-be politician Shahid Butt admits he has led a colourful life and has done some wrong. "I have made mistakes and I have regrets, of course," he says, but he insists those who wish to portray him now as a thug, terrorist, advocate of violence have got it wrong. Really? But has just announced he is standing in the May City Council elections in the ward of Sparkhill, his home patch. Convicted terrorist, and it says read more. Here's one. So again, the life and times. This is the guy. Butt's life and times. Sharrett Butt, 60, grew up in Sparkhill and spent his. And by the way, he wouldn't if you applied the Acts of Settlement of 1701, which was the element I'm talking about, which is you must be born of English parents. None of these people would be in any positions of power. But from the age of 11 onwards, he says he became more and more aware of racism swirling around him. Fuck off. In his teens, he helped form the notorious Lynx gang, mostly Pakistani street gang, Sparkhill, who took on far-right anti-immigrant groups in the 70s and 80s, fighting with skinheads and Nazis. Do fuck off. His associates then included Mozam Beg, later held in Guantanamo Bay by the Americans for 3 years, accused of being a terrorist before being released without charge. He has previously described how he was frustrated and angry growing up as a minority Pakistani, well, fuck off back to Pakistan, in the city, and that he was advised by his anxious parents to avoid conflict and cross the road, right? But went the other way, becoming a fighter. No, that's not fighting, mate. You're a fucking terrorist. There's all the information. There's not much else I can really say about that. He ain't a bit of me. Did everyone see that, by the way? Did you all see it? Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and please share, right? Because we've got to try and get this channel out there. Our rights as Englishmen and women. Yeah. Good evening to you, Guna Mum is in the house. I might be coming up to London as well, or near London. I might be going to an event in Norfolk, right? Because I want to go and see someone. And I'll be letting you know nearer the day whether I'm doing that, but I'm going to need someone to stay. So don't forget, keep it up, keep all the shares up. There are more interviews coming up. Don't forget, everyone, if you can send my information to Tucker, it could be a chance that I could be flying out to see Tucker. It's you that's doing it, right? All I'm doing is sitting there talking to people. We need to keep pushing all of the time. We're a team. It's not just about me. But again, we're going to have some good conversations coming up. England won. What party is he standing for, DD? Well, one of the things that they've said they're going to do, they already got 4 Muslims elected as independent candidates. Now, there is a strategy that could be deployed by Rupert Lowe, and it's the same strategy they're doing, where you build a movement, and the movement authorises and indicates an independent in your area, right? That's something that I think could be happening in the background, but I don't know. But you want to try it. So Juicy and Lucy have just put some information. If anyone wants to email Tucker Carlson, get Graham on interview, emails info to blah blah, press, tips, support network, advertise. Try and get me on there. Amazing that Graham with Tucker. We're going to try and do that, but we need people to send an email. Just say, listen, he's an English constitutionalist. People need to start talking about England, right? And more people have seen it. Now, just to make sure you're all aware, let me make sure I'm not going to call anything off. Let me have a look. Breaking. Former Dominion executive Eric Kumar has admitted to working with foreign actors in the 2020 election per court records. He was just deposed yesterday. I think I found the trigger for the raid. Right. FBI are raiding Fulton County Elections Office as we speak. I think it was Sparkle who had the corrupt postal votes in the 90s. That's what I mean. There is so much wrong with the corruption and Islam, especially with voting. But it's not just Islam, it's all of the people that are doing this. So we just need to understand that. Let me have a quick look and see, because I sent something else out today. Cruel and superstitious practices like halal and kosher slaughter should be illegal. Britain is a Christian nation. We should not accommodate the backwards practices of people who deny the divinity of Christ, which is the principle this kingdom is built on. Charlie Downs, absolutely. Talk about Christ, I ain't got a problem. I keep buying XAUT, using my Rumble wallet, a stable coin backed by physical gold. I quite like the sound of that. Again, almost 800,000 people have shared this video. Did you buy a Russian multipolar Chinese hybrid warfare PSYOP? You have been informed. President Pack rebranded LeBruch, changed in 2024. Is a movement. Let me have a look. Which in 1922, who began as a Marxist, Leninist, Trotsky in the 1940s and 50s, before evolving into a unique ideology emphasizing economic infrastructure, classical humanism, and anti-British conspiracies. The movement uses hierarchical cult-like Leninist structure for organizing followers. On Russia, it has pro-Kremlin leanings with affiliates like the Schiller Institute, collaborating with Russian media to promote multipolar geopolitics, supports Putin's policies and spread anti-Ukraine narratives. The PAC now has infiltrated Trump's aligned candidates and focuses on American system economics, raising $418,000 in 2023. LaRouche associates have appeared on Sean Newham podcast, Canadian conservative, and collaborate with pro-Russian figures like Jackie Hinckley, who hosts his own shows. The group, and he don't like me, the group, and nor does George Galloway, who's now blocked me, The group primarily runs its own podcast, webcasts, and primarily an Action LaRousse organisation. Steve Laws, I was explaining immigration in Dover. So there's lots and lots and stuff going on, right? So what we're going to do now is see if we can find some notifications. There it is. Right, there's a particular one that I wanted to show you because I need you to all send this out. Right, and I'm going to click on that. I'm going to share it with you. Well, I won't share it yet. If you can all nut this out there. This needs a retweet, a serious retweet. What am I doing? Right, here we go. I'm going to show you this on the screen. Rupert Lowe, this was this morning, early hours this morning, I think it was. This is very concerning. In one of the migrant hotel contracts we are going through, it states that the accommodation will be used for complex bowel cases, defined as a user who is an ex-foreign national offender released on criminal bail or similar special cases, all on documents marked official sensitive. The hotels aren't just being used for illegal migrants. They're being used for outright convicted foreign criminals. This particular contract was for the northwest, so up by Leicester, Lancashire, Cheshire, northwest, right? Cumbria, etc. This particular contract was for the northwest. The value, $1,079,000,000. I want to know who these criminals are and what are their crimes. How many foreign rapists are in these hotels? How many murderers? How many paedophiles, sex offenders allowed to roam our communities? We deserve to know. These men are being sorry. These men. What is going on with that? These men are being forced into communities, and politicians from all parties, Labour, Reform and Conservative, have deliberately concealed the true contents of these contracts. And these are with Mears, Clear Springs, Serco, etc. A Compass is another one. I am in the process of asking hundreds of questions to the Home Office, and I mean hundreds, about these contracts. I will keep you all updated. And then I put, Rupert, I have been saying this for years and showing evidence of the 4 billion since 2016, and it was going back before then as well, so it's lots more than 4 billion. They planned this. They even used the 2011 census to fund areas where they knew for the first time where the English strongholds were. In other words, where it come up with 75 and 85% English. They flooded it. Northeast was one of them. Northwest was another one. Essex and that area, the East region was another one. Where I used to live is another one. They planned this. They then flooded them areas, right, with migrants and asylum seekers, then giving them British passports so they can vote in elections. So what happens is, if you think about Alberta, by the time you get to a referendum, there'll be so many foreigners voting. The only way you could do it is say that they can only be Indigenous, and that's why we have to bring back the Constitution to stop all this going on. They then become British, right? So they get a British passport, a legal fiction. It's a terrible situation. And then what I did was put a link there for him to read, right? And this is a government link. New asylum accommodation contracts awarded. 8th of January 2019, that was. Don't forget, it goes all the way back to 2016. Don't forget, I work for Mears. I know the project manager. or knew the project manager and what he was up to. I didn't like it at all. The Home Office has awarded, and don't forget they sacked me. The Home Office has awarded New Asylum Accommodation and Support Services, AASC, following an open and fair procurement exercise, right? There is the information. This was published under the 2016-2019 May Conservative government. So the people that reform are now taken on board give these people $4 billion of our money, right? The New Asylum Accommodation and Support Services contracts, which were designed following engagement with local authorities. So the local authorities knew, just the people didn't. Potential providers and non-governmental organisations, NGOs, have been awarded today the following open and fair procurement exercise. The new contracts offer a range of improvements with a particular focus on assisting individuals through the asylum system. They will ensure that vulnerable asylum seekers have access to the support they need and set clear requirements on the standard and condition of accommodation. Under new contracts, providers will be required to have proactive maintenance plans, MERS, etc., to make sure that they regularly inspect properties, report back to the Home Office on the findings of these inspections, and issues are identified. They was going out buying the properties, by the way, from people and letting the properties en masse, right? And all these private landlords, etc., and hoteliers are all in on these billions. Clear Springs is now, I think, worth something like £400 million, right, of your money when he was committing treason. It just happens to be Jewish. When issues are identified, providers will be expected to resolve them within set timescales, right? And there's people like us struggling for accommodation out here. Midland and East, the Home Office formally awarded contracts to the following providers. Midlands and East of England, Serco. North East, Yorkshire and Humberside, Mears Group. North West, Serco. So Cumbria, Lancashire, Cheshire, etc. is the North West, Serco. Northern Ireland, Mears Group. Scotland, Mears Group. They had a lot of problems in Glasgow, if you remember rightly. South, right, Clear Springs, Ready Homes. Wales, Clear Springs, Ready Homes. Migrant Help have also been awarded the contract for the advice. So I looked all of that up and see how much they was getting. Issue reporting and eligibility assistance. You can go back through my past programs. I went all the way through this, and then I showed you how they had targeted areas, because for the first time ever in 2011, they added English-only national identity. Right? They are destroying England, and Rupert Lowe is not listening to this. You must say, Rupert, you need to speak to Graham Moore, right? And he will tell you this on a video and let everyone understand exactly what's going on. It will also provide asylum seekers with a single point of contact, independent from the accommodation providers and the Home Office, to report issues. Right? So they're basically using, and they're pulling people off of the normal housing association jobs that they're running, and running the whole of the asylum system of providing accommodation like they're one big massive happy family, right? And they're all earning billions out of it. That's why I don't particularly like anyone who works for me, is because they know this is going on. Immigration Minister Caroline Noakes said, the UK has a proud history of providing protection to those who need it, and these new contracts will make sure that asylum seekers are treated with dignity and respect in safe, secure and suitable accommodation. So who is Caroline Noakes, and has she yet joined Reform? They will deliver compassionate support through a new integrated service and make the asylum system more accessible and easier to navigate. We consulted extensively with local authorities and NGOs to make sure that the contracts not only protect vulnerable asylum seekers, but also deliver value for money for the taxpayer. The contracts also require accommodation and providers to develop and maintain close working relationships with local authorities, and include the need to consult and liaise with them on location of properties in the area. The AASC contracts, which will replace the existing Compass contracts, have an approximate value of $4 billion and are for 10 years. And by the way, this went well back before 2016 because I knew the project manager, right? The new contracts will commence on September 2019, and that's the new contract. So there was old contracts there, and the Home Office will continue to work closely with the new providers, Compass providers, and local authorities to ensure smooth transition, right? What did you all think of that? So let me stop sharing, go back to my main screen. I'm asking the audience, right? It is us, it's our families, it's us as an older generation as well that got nowhere to live. There are veterans dying on our street. We was fighting against these people. Again, when you look at me, I'm no spring chicken, right? And there's nothing, and there's no assistance for me out there, right? It's an absolute disgrace. Sam Pink Panther, Lady Jane Rigby, more than likely have to have the noses in the trough, right? Guna Mum, Milky, what's that? Babe, ball bat, in case you fancy a game in the hall. We have had 550 houses being posted by the council on Greenbelt. Yeah. What about the indigenous English? No, I agree. And again, these people keep cheering on the British, right? These people doing this and award and giving your tax money away as English are all British. Mr. Hempman, Graham, you need to protect your books if you are visited by bailiffs. I'm not sure if they are classed as protected as trade tools, but they have any value. No, I agree to a large extent. Keir Starmer, a Greenland for Greenlanders. I have to look up stuff for my dad. Has he? Treason against the indigenous people of these countries. No, exactly that. Let me have a quick look and see what else is going on there. Right, does anyone know what else is going on? Because I don't know. Let me have a quick look while I'm on here. Let's have a look at the silver price, £82.39. It's now at £85. So just to make sure you're all aware of this, because you're all fantastic people, that is now worth 85 quid. Right, that was a fantastic Christmas present, Mark. Right, you literally give me, and there's a banker hanging on the back of it. There it is, solid silver. Right, an ounce of silver now worth 85 quid. That could be a bag of shopping. And yes, my absolute favourite is that little tiny baby there. Look at that. An original King Alfred coin. I think it's King Alfred. Might be someone else. Red Rex. And again, it's an absolute replica of a silver penny from... let me get that back in there so I can keep an eye on it. I am more than happy with that though. So the silver prices are on there. Let me just make sure you can all see that. There's a new silver price. Silver silver price is $117. They're pushing up the tension at the moment in the Middle East with what's going on with Iran. I don't know if anything else is going on, but gold has gone to £3,903 an ounce. I can tell you that's nothing to what it should be, but certainly The week low was 67. I think we've gone well past the $50 mark now for an ounce of silver. We are now at $117. And I'm just saying thank you very much to everyone who's kept an eye on that. Let's have another quick look and see what we can do there. Stop sharing that tab, which I'm about to do now. Any other questions from anyone? I am literally tired, and I've got some stuff I've got to do tomorrow. Then I've got to do a load of washing, and then I've got to continue tidying this up. So don't forget, we've got the Dunes complex. Now we've got the accommodation and that information. I think we're asking someone to do like a pamphlet set up. Monday night I'll be briefly talking to Dr. Glidden. You'll see him as well, and we'll ask him if he's definitely coming or not, because we'll advertise it. If not, we'll have to find a way of doing it. Steve Normans. I keep seeing Starmer is rolling out 15-minute cities. Yeah. 15-minute cities was a communist. It was the USSR that did that. Holy England, Starmer is selling us out right now. No, I agree with you entirely. But maybe people need to be shown that. Ace, Jason, Richard, good evening. By the way, Jason, your leaflets are on their way. They should be with you Friday. They've been ordered and paid for. Again, I want to thank. Let me have a quick look. I can't show this to anyone. I'll just say it's Mr. Leak. I think it is. Oh no, it ain't. It's Mr. Hammond from Staffordshire has made has given us some information there, so I'm really grateful. Also, not information, some funding. So just to let you know, Starmer, the Jimmy Savile protector. But again, I just want to make sure that everyone gets this. If I go back to there and see what's going on. Find out when my brother-in-law gets them tickets. Funny enough, I'm going to fucking ask him. Let me do that now. It's not live, is it? No. I'll see if they do washing machines. I need a washing machine. I need a load of gear. Right, let me have a quick look. If there's anyone out there, by the way, I need a washing machine. What else do I need? I'm not asking people to go out and buy me one, but if you see a really good washing machine or a washing and dryer or anything like that, and I need a 3-piece, a decent one. I need a bed and a mattress, a decent one. I'm going to need wardrobes, whatever they are, and some other little bits and pieces. So maybe people can help me, because I don't. I'm not on Facebook. I'm not on. So I will need assistance with that. I'm not on Facebook. So I will need a bit of help. And I don't need it immediately, but one way or the other, I've got to try and sort it out. I'll tell you what's going on shortly. Last silver purchase Monopoly set. I thought it was ironic as fear is crushed. That is very good. I think that's hilarious. So Mark's bought a Monopoly set in silver. That's funny. Let me see if I can bring that up. It puts his name up there, so I can't really show you. Let me see if I can do it a different way. This is what he actually won today. I think this might even be the company. But this is what he's won. He's actually got the motor, right? So it's not a wind-up. At first, I think he thought it was a wind-up. This is when and this is the vehicle. Let me save to clipboard. See if I can send it to you. Here we go. Paste. Oh, fuck. I can't put it in that one. Sorry, sent it to the wrong one. Hang on a minute. And then I'm going to show you something else again because it's important. So I'm going to bring this up as a vehicle and show you on the screen. This is what he actually won, right? This is not bullshit. This is actually what he won. There it is, right? So whatever that is, it's a BMW 330e M Sport Estate. And he won it on the 23rd of January, and now he's got it. It's in his possession. It's electric. It's an absolute tool. It's 25 grand's worth, and I think he's just going to sell it. And him and my sister are going on a cruise, or a few cruises. There you go. So everyone should understand that. And again, I just want to make sure everyone's got this. We're going to have to make sure everyone understands what this one is. English Constitution Society seminar. We've got another one coming up in April. So we've got March. We've also got the big one coming up in June, which is the 5th, 6th and 7th. I'll be staying there from the 5th all the way through to the 8th. As many people, we want as many. So there's 3 separate groups of people coming. There's a number of things that's under discussion, including health. But there's the English Constitution Society, the English Constitution Party, and you don't have to be a member to come along. But anyone who has followed us, the Full English Show, it's the Full English Show, and it's everyone getting together. There's going to be music, live bands, a chill out time, so we can just sit down and have a laugh. And it's a 3-day event. So if you want, we've got accommodation. You've obviously got to pay for it. I can't remember how much the tickets are, but you can have a weekend ticket. It's all on the website. I'm not managing that. One of because I'm shit at managing things. But discover the inalienable and constitutional rights. What they are, why they matter, and how the state is working to take them away. Find out what you can do to protect your freedom from before it's too late. The Soccer Bar, Wilkie Road, Barrow in Furness, Cumbria, LA14 5UQ. Saturday the 28th of February 2026. It's a 6 p.m. start. I'll be there earlier because we've got to set up. We've got to set the cameras up. Everyone welcome. £10 on the door or pre-book. English Constitution Society events. Main speaker Graham Moore. And again, I don't like these, but I don't like bigging myself up. A respected English constitutional scholar, more than 30 years' experience, a registered paralegal, founding member of the English Constitution Society. There's one of our previous ones. So you've got England, independent England, independent Scotland, independent Northern Ireland, independent Wales, independent Cornwall, independent Ireland. Self-determination is the number one human right. And that's all that people need to understand, right? And we'll be doing that. I've got to try and get hold of some editing and do some editing myself. Hopefully this isn't gone pear-shaped. And it has. There you go. So I'm going to take that off the screen. Let's see if anyone has contacted me. Wow, shame it's electric. Congrats and enjoy the cruise. Aspire is the one my Neil won, the rugby tickets in Northern Ireland last year. Oh, well, that's what I mean. So my brother-in-law has won about 5 things with them. That's lovely. Good for him. Right, so I might go on there tonight and see if I can win an house. Wouldn't that be lovely? Especially if you all prayed. So I just want to make sure everyone's there. I am really tired. I will tell you some more about some other things going on with my health in the background. Nothing to be majorly concerned with. But because I feel absolutely exhausted all of the time. I have got insomnia. And obviously that means I don't sleep, but I do sleep during the day, but I don't feel rested. And there's other things, but I will speak to people about it. But I just want everyone to understand what's going on. That's it. So let you know what goes on. John Solomon, US steel production surpasses Japan for the first time since 1999 amid tariffs, because they're protecting their own industries, right? They're doing a fantastic job. That's it. I am going to say I love you all. Thank you for the massive support that you've been giving. If you see me dropping down and coming up again, it's because I think I've got something wrong with me. It is a drama, and it ain't a drama. As long as I can still get an erection, I'm fine. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. You know what I mean. But that's it. So I'm going to say good night, God bless. I am going to say to everyone listening to this, the Constitution is the solution, right? Some of the stuff that's coming in now, I can't wait to sit down and actually concentrate on writing this book, right? Because I believe the way it's going to be written, I am going to smack some asses to say, if you're saying this, why does it say that? If all of these scholars agree, and there are many of them, right, why are you doing that? Because you are communists, and you have actively sought to subvert the English constitution and constitutional rights. It is strictly forbidden in law, right? And again, I just want everyone to know that. And I will never surrender. I can tell you that now. So, yeah, by the way, I'm always skint. It's one of the things that pisses me off. But, I could have made a lot of money doing different things. Right? We all could, right? But I'm not a grifter like certain other people who appears to be selling a Ponzi scheme at the moment. You couldn't make it up, could you? But there you go. That's nothing to do with me. What we try and do, we try and help people. If you come to me tomorrow and say, Graham, I'm bang in trouble, this is what they're doing, I'd still help him. Because I believe that we're all on one thing. Snap, morals and ethics, DD. Thanks, DD, for what you do. No problem. And it's not just me. We're one big team, right? Sometimes, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be doing this. So we are a team, right? And when I get people ringing me up, I'm one of the people's in the chat at the moment, right? Absolutely motivated, very keen to go and deliver leaflets, definitely standing in the elections, wants to put his own money in, absolutely believes what we're doing, absolutely believes in England. And by the way, this is not far from Tracy. Again, people don't realise, you inspire me, not the other way around. All I am is a mouthpiece. Hopefully, I've got to lose a bit of weight and make sure I can still get in my suits, and then the seminars are up and running. But let's go to work. Listen. You are the team. Don't forget to contact Tucker Carlson and say, listen, it would be fantastic if you had a conversation with him. Any of these big players out there, I do know that some certain other people don't like it. They do not like me talking and saying, listen, this is the solution. And what they've been doing is committing treason. Subversion of the Constitution is treason. It's a hanging offence. Adam, hey G. Hugh Gardens, good night, Patriots. I will see you tomorrow night. Got a lot on tomorrow, but I will be about tomorrow night. Yes, so yeah, have a good morning, good evening. That's it, right? So I am actually going to say good night, God bless. I feel like going to sleep. And I still ain't sorted out my false teeth.